First thing first, let us see what we are going to cover in today's class. First, we'll start with fundamental principle of counting, which is the basis of permutation and combination, factorial number, linear permutation when repetition is allowed, linear permutation when objects are alike, and of course some real life question and the approach to solve it. So let's start with fundamental principle of counting. Fundamental principle of counting. Imagine there are three cities A, B and C, and you have to reach A to C via B, and between A and B there are three roads like this, and between B to C there are 5 roads like this. So the question is, how many ways can you reach A to C via B? So when I take the first route A to B, I have 5 options. When I take the second route, again I have 5 options. When I take the third route, again I have 5 options. So total how many ways we can reach A to C? A to B can be done in 3 ways and B to C can be done in 5 ways. So that together can be done 3 into 5 ways. That is 15 ways. So this is product. So we can generalize, if one operation can be done in m ways, and for one such ways if another operation can be done in n ways, then the together can be done m into n ways. Alright, product rule. This is not just for two operations, it is valid for any number of operations. We will just keep on multiplying. Suppose there are another city D and you have to reach A to D via B and C, and suppose between C to D there are 4 roads. Now how many ways you can reach A to D? That 3 into 5 into 4, right? So this is true for any number of operation. This is fundamental principle of counting. Now let us see how do we apply this principle in solving permutation and combination question. So let's dig in. So let us now discuss factorial number. Most of us know what is factorial number, but let me quickly revise. When I say factorial, suppose for example 5 factorial, we denote it by this 5 factorial or like this 5 factorial. And meaning of this is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 up to 1. For example 7 factorial. So how do you write 7 factorial? Multiply the integers starting from 7 up to 1. So this is the meaning of factorial. So in general, if I have n factorial, for example, n factorial, so what is the meaning? N into n minus 1 into n minus 2, 1 less, up to 1. This is n factorial. So one interesting observation, look at this. If I exclude this n, then the remaining are n minus 1 factorial. So you can write n into n minus 1 factorial. So quick observation, n factorial is n into n minus 1 factorial and 0 factorial is 1. Hope factorial concept is now clear. So let's move on to the main thing, that is permutation and combination. Let us now understand what is the main difference between permutation and combination. How do I understand a question is based on permutation or a question is based on combination? So in order to understand that, let us take an example. Suppose Indian team has won the World Cup and I click a photograph where captain is at the center stage. Now you click another photograph where the captain and coach interchange their position and all others members are same. Now if we show these two photographs to your friend Mr. Sachin and ask him whether these two photographs are same or different, so what could be his answer? So definitely his answer would be they are different because the positions are different. But if we change our question and ask him which Indian team has won the World Cup, what could be his answer? He will definitely answer they are same or both the same team because both team has same member. So the first case where order matters is permutation or arrangement, and the second case where order does not matter is combination or selection. So basically permutation is arrangement where order does matter, and combination is selection where order does not matter. That means when I write A, B, C and B, A, C, these two are different in terms of permutation. So with respect to permutation, they are different, okay, and with respect to combination, they are same. So basically, we'll check whether the order is important or not. Now, let us find out what is the mathematical answer of permutation and combination. So linear permutation. So let us say there are 5 persons A, B, C, D, E, and there are 3 chairs. They are playing musical chair round. So the question is, how many ways you can fill these 3 chairs? So the first chair can be filled in how many ways? 5 ways. Any 5 person can sit in this chair. Now when one person is sitting, how many ways we can fill the second chair? 4 ways. Any 4 remaining person can sit. Similarly, the third chair can be filled in 3 ways. So that together can be filled using the basic principle of counting is 5 into 4 into 3. This is permutation of 5 objects taking 3 at a time. We denote it this way, 5p3. Alright. Now let us rearrange a little bit. So if I write 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 and divided by 2 into 1. So what is the numerator? Now we know factorial, right? So it is 5 factorial upon 2 factorial, or we'll write 5 minus 3 factorial. Just to relate this 5 and this 3. Arrangement of 5 objects taking 3 at a time. So 5 factorial upon 5 minus 3 factorial. So in general, when I write NPR, so what would be the answer? N factorial upon N minus R factorial. Alright. So if you take all at a time, that is NPN. So what would be NPN? I write here. NPN all at a time is N factorial by 0 factorial, and we know 0 factorial is 1, so it's N factorial. So arrangement of N objects taking all at a time is N factorial. Now quick little observation. Objects are distinguishable. See, when I explain this concept NPR, see the example A, B, C, D, E, all are different objects. So objects must be distinguishable. And second point, repetition is not allowed. So what if these two does not hold? And that we'll discuss separately. Now let us first see how do we apply this concept in solving question. Let us take this example. The question says, how many distinct 5-digit numbers can be formed using digits 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 7, 8 such that no digit is repeated? Options are 4320, 2520, 2160, 5040. So key point over here is it has to be a 5-digit number and the given digits are 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 7, 8. That is 7 digit. So can I say the answer would be 7p5 because there are 7 objects and you have to form 5-digit number? No, that would be wrong answer. The reason is 7p5 means arrangement of 7 objects taking 5 at a time. Any 5. So there would be some cases where 0 comes at the first place. That means numbers like this 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But in that case, it is not a 5-digit number. It is 4-digit number. So if I apply that formula directly, we'll get wrong answer. So basically, you should always try to solve the question from fundamental principle of counting. So we have 5 places to fill. 5-digit number. Now, how many ways I can fill my first place? 0 cannot come. So we can fill it in 6 ways. Any other 6 digit can come. And as no digit is repeated, so when one digit is sitting over here, the next place can be filled with 6 ways because now 0 can come, right? So remaining 6 digit. Similarly, the next place can be filled in 5 ways, remaining 5 digit. then 4, then 3. So together 6 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3. These many ways. So what is the answer? So this is 4 into 3, 12 into 5, 60 into 6. 60 into 6 is 360. 360 into 6, 2160. So total we will get 2160 5-digit numbers with this given digit. Hope that clears all your doubt. Now let's take another example with some more constraint. Let us take this example. The question says how many distinct 4-digit even numbers can be formed using the digits 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 7 using each digit only once. Only once, so repetition is not allowed. Options are 144, 156, 300 and none of this. So the key point that we must observe, it has to be 4-digit and also even numbers. That is very much important, even numbers. And the given digits are 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 7, 6 digit. And using each digit only once, so repetition not allowed. So basically over here we have to fill 4 places. And first we need to deal with even number. What are even numbers? Even number are those which are divisible by 2. So for that, the last place can be filled with 2 or 4 or 0. No other digit. But if I do it directly from here, now question is how many ways now we can fill the first place. There will be little complication. When 2 and 4 are sitting at the last place, let me erase this 0. When 2 or 4 at the last place, the first place can be filled in 4 ways. 0 cannot come. Now when 0 at the last place, the first place can be filled with any other 5 digit. So for 2, 4 and for 0, the answer is different. That is why we need to deal with it separately. So first case, when 2 or 4 at the last place, that is the last place can be filled 2 ways. The first place can be filled in 4 ways. Second place then can be filled with remaining 4 digit 4 ways. Then 3 digit 3 ways into 2. So total 4 into 4 into 3, that is 48 into 2, 96. Now when 0 at the last place, that is the last place is filled only with 1 digit, one option. First place can be filled in 5 ways. Next place then 4 ways. Next place then 3 ways. So total how many? 5 into 4, 20 into 3, 60. So 60 such numbers. So therefore total numbers how many? 96 plus 60, which is 156. So there will be 156 4-digit even numbers. So correct answer is option B. Hope that answers your question. Let's move on. Let's take another example. Another classic question. The number of arrangements that can be made with the letters of the word meadows so that the vowels are never together. So vowels are never together. How many such words can be formed? To deal with such question, never together or always together, the vowels are never together. So what we can do, we can first find out all words rearranging the letters without any constraint. So there are how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and all are different. So therefore total number of words that can be formed without any constraint is factorial 7. From this, if I can subtract the words where the vowels are together, I get my desired answer, right? So first we'll find out the number of words where vowels would be always together. For that, what you'll do, take the vowels E, A and O, right? So E, A, O as a single unit, like put them in a box. Now wherever they goes together. This vowel 1 unit and remaining 4 consonants and 4 consonants, right? I'm writing consonants. Consonants 4. So vowel group 1 and 4 consonant, total 5 object. So number of arrangement What will be the number of arrangement therefore? Number of arrangement therefore 5 objects, so factorial 5. Now for one such arrangement, the vowels can be rearranged among themselves, that is inside the box. So 3 letters, factorial 3. So total arrangement therefore basically would be factorial 5 into factorial 3. So these are the arrangement where vowels are always together. So what would be the required answer therefore? So the required answer therefore, total arrangement factorial 7 minus arrangement where vowels are together, that is factorial 5 into factorial 3. This is the required answer. We can simplify and we can finally find out the digit if I want. Okay. So hope that answers your question. Let us now discuss what happens if repetition is allowed. And what do you mean by repetition? So let me explain. Suppose we have 5 letters and around us there are 3 post boxes. So letter, number of letter 5 and number of post box. Number of post box. These days we generally hardly post letters. We do email, right? So number of letters, suppose 5 and there are 3 post box. If I have to post these letters, question is how many ways I can do that. Now let us understand there are 3 post boxes. So the letter 1, this is the letter, suppose 1, 2, 3, we have 5 letter, 4th letter and 5th letter. So for first letter, how many options I have? I can put it in the first box or second box or in the third box. So for first letter I have 3 options. For the second letter also I have how many options? We can put it in the first box, second box or third box, right? So it is again 3 ways. There is no constraint one post box can hold how many letters, right? So similarly third post box 3 ways, fourth post box 3 ways, fifth also 3. So together how many ways therefore? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, that is 3 raised to the power 5. So 5 letter, 3 post box. So 3 raised to the power 5. Now in many books you will find formula, but don't try to use formula, it will be confusing. So you will better use the general method, that is the fundamental principle of counting. Let me give you another example. Suppose 5 foreign delegates comes to Delhi. Okay, let me take 10. Number of person 10, and there are 6 hotels. 5-star hotels है. 5-star hotels how many in Delhi? Suppose 6. So question is how many ways they will stay in these hotels. Okay, so now look at this. First person, he can check into any hotel, so he has 6 options. Second person, again 6 options. So what would be the answer? 6 raised to the power 10, right? So this is how we generally deal with when repetition is allowed. Let us take an example and elaborate how do we solve question using this concept. Let us take this example. The question says if n is a natural number such that 2000 less than n less than 8000, how many such numbers can be formed using the digits 1, 0, 2, 5, 7 and 8. So this is important. First we need to observe it is greater than 2000 and less than 8000. That is our required number has to be 4-digit number. And second thing, the given digits are 1, 0, 2, 5, 7 and 8. So basically what we have to fill 4 places. 4-digit number. Now the first place can be filled, it has to be greater than 2000. So we can fill it with digits 2, 5 or 7 from the given digit. It has to be less than 8000. The first place can be filled in 3 ways. No other option. Now it is not mentioned about repetition or not repetition. So when nothing is mentioned, we must consider repetition is allowed. That means any digit which I put over here is available for the next place. For example, let me write here I can obtain a number like this 2222. This is also a 4-digit number, greater than 2000, less than 8000. So this kind of numbers are possible. So therefore the next place can be filled with all given digits, that is 6 ways. Next place again 6 ways, same logic. Next place again 6 ways. So this is how we deal with the repetition. So total required numbers 3 into 6 into 6 into 6. So this is 6 into 6 into 6 is 216 into 3. 216 into 3 is 648, right? So the answer must be, okay, just check, 216 into 3, that is 648. There is none of this. So correct answer must be 648 or none of this. Hope that clears your doubt. Now let us discuss what happens when objects are alike. Alright, let me give an example. Suppose we are given this word LOST, 4-letter word. Question is, if the letters are rearranged, how many words we can form? So it's a 4-letter word, all are different or distinguishable. So number of arrangement taking all at a time must be 4 factorial or 24. Now let me give you another 4-letter word. Suppose LOSS. If the letters are rearranged, is your answer still 4 factorial? No. Why? Because look at this. If I rearrange or interchange this to S, that remains the same word, right? Therefore answer is not factorial 4. So in this case, what would be the answer? 4-letter word, so 4 factorial upon 2s alike, so 2 factorial. Let me elaborate with another example. Suppose we have this word LOSSTTT. Again same question, if the letters are rearranged, how many words we can form? Now how many letters we have total? 7 letters. So arrangement should be 7 factorial upon how many alike? 2s alike, so 2 factorial. 3t alike, so into 3 factorial. This is the arrangement. So this is how we deal with when the objects are alike. Now let us check how do we apply this concept in solving question, right? The question says, if the letters of the word mathematics are arranged in how many words, vowels would be always together. So vowels has to be always together, right? So how do you proceed? First, we'll separate the vowel group. That is, we have these vowels A, E, A, I, right? So A, E, A, I. So put them in a box. So vowel group, this should be treated as one object, and remaining how many consonant? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So and 7 consonants, right? 7 consonant. Sorry, consonant. 7 consonants, right? So what is the total arrangement? If all were different, arrangement would have been 8 objects, so 8 factorial. But over here, look at the consonant group. So total arrangement must be there for 8 object, 8 factorial, 1 vowel group, 7 consonant. Divided by, now how many m we have? 2m, so therefore 2 factorial. How many t we have? We have 2t, so 2 factorial. Any other alike? Then we have 1h, 1c, 1s. Okay, so this is the arrangement taking the vowel group as one single unit. Now for one such arrangement, we can also rearrange the vowels among themselves. So when I rearrange them, look at this, inside the group we have 4 letters. So arrangement should be 4 factorial divided by 2a alike, so divided by 2 factorial. So this is the required arrangement. 8 factorial into 4 factorial, let me write here, 8 factorial into 4 factorial upon 2 factorial into 2 factorial into 2 factorial. This is the required arrangement where vowels would be always together. So this has repetition, and also we deal with that case when they are always together, right? So hope that answers your question. Let's move on. Let's take another little complicated example. Okay, let's take this example. 10 letters A through J are arranged in a row left to right. How many ways can they be arranged if A always comes before B and B always comes before C? Okay, let us first discuss the question 1. So A has to be before B and B has to be before C. But don't get confused. It is not like A always has to be first, then the next letter B, then the next letter C. It's not like that. They need not to be consecutive. It can be like this also. A, then there might be gap, then B, then there might be more gap, then C. It need not to be consecutive, but A must be always before B and B must be always before C. So how to deal with such question? There are 10 letters A through J, so all are separate. So the number of arrangement of 10 letters without any constraint is 10 factorial. Now A, B, C. How many ways, if I consider these 3 letters, how many ways you can rearrange these 3 letters among themselves? So 3 letter factorial 3. Right? That is 6. So that means from 6 such arrangement, this includes like arrangement like this also, but this is not a valid arrangement in our question. Or maybe arrangement like this, C then A then B, this is also not valid. So out of this 6, only one is valid, which follows that order, A first then B then C. That means from 6 arrangement I can take only one arrangement. So from total 10 factorial arrangement, how many arrangement I can take? 10 factorial upon 6 or 3 factorial. Alright, hope that clear. Out of 3 factorial, only one arrangement is valid. So out of 10 factorial, how many arrangements are valid? 10 factorial by 3 factorial. Okay, so these are the arrangement where A should be before B and B should be before C. Now look at the second question. When the first question is done, then the second question is easy. How many ways can they be arranged if A always comes before B and I always comes before J? So don't mix them. There has to be A before B and I before J, separate. So A before B. So when I consider A and B, total arrangement first of all 10 factorial without any constraint. Now when I consider the group AB, so they can be arranged between themselves in 2 factorial ways. Out of this, only one arrangement is valid. AB is valid but not BA. This is not valid arrangement. So out of this I can take only one. Similarly, for I and J, they can be arranged within themselves 2 factorial ways. Out of this, only one is valid. So I can take only one arrangement. So therefore, required arrangement should be 10 factorial upon 2 factorial, and for ij 2 factorial. So 2 factorial into 2 factorial. This is the required arrangement. So that answers your question. How should we deal with such questions? Alright. So let us summarize what we have covered today. Today we have covered fundamental principle of counting. This is the basis. We should always try to solve all questions considering this fundamental principle only. Don't try to solve the question directly using permutation formula. Okay, you might get wrong answer. Next, factorial number. Next, linear permutation. So how do you derive the formula? And of course, how do you apply this formula in solving question? Next, linear permutation when repetition is allowed. So what happens when repetition allowed? How do you solve those questions? And last, linear permutation when objects are alike. That is like those examples, loss, the word loss. And how do you solve those questions? So all concepts are clear now. So before wrapping up, let us see what we are going to cover in next class. So next class, we'll discuss circular permutation. Today we have covered linear permutation. Next class we'll be covering circular permutation, ranking, derangement or wrong arrangement, combination, that is selection, restricted combination, some special combination, selection taking any number at a time. Alright, so this we are going to cover in next class. So till then, so in next class we are coming up with some more cool concept. Until then, Thank you and take care.